Please be warned, the story you're about to hear was denied by our own United States government. In fact, there is evidence that suggests it has been covered up since the end of the Second World War, until today. Even as I speak to you now, certain powerful parties have a vested interest in keeping this information hidden, and I fully expect this video to be removed from the internet in the next 24 hours. This true story is simply that controversial, so please listen. In 1944, at the peak of World War II, did a brilliant German scientist, forced to work on the direct orders of Adolf Hitler himself, do the impossible, discover a true cure for cancer? This is not hype. I'm talking about what could be the most important discovery in the history of medicine. And every single detail of this life-saving miracle is preserved, clear as day, in his private journals and papers. A secret Nazi treasure lost for generations, rediscovered, and finally revealed today. It's a fact. Thanks to World War II documents we recently obtained, we now know a German chemist, scientist, and medical doctor learned the shocking true cause of all cancers, a breakthrough that has escaped even today's top scientists. But this story gets so much bigger, because this German doctor also found the one and only solution for cancer, the ultimate holy grail of medical science. What's more, the treatment he discovered is so simple and painless it involves no chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery. And friend, if you or a loved one has ever had cancer, you must get this solution now. Unfortunately, your doctors don't know the first thing about it. You'll learn why in a moment. It's truly shocking. And even if you've never faced this dreaded disease yourself, you can now, finally, release all fear of cancer. Because knowing this German scientist's miracle could mean you and your family will now be protected from dying of cancer. I know this is a lot to take in. That's why you'll see proof in the next 1 minute, 42 seconds of this presentation. You'll discover the name of the German scientist working at the personal request of Adolf Hitler. You'll see the lost Nazi treasure that contains his astonishing breakthrough. You'll learn why certain parties, including our US government, have systematically denied and even covered up all evidence of this medical breakthrough. You'll examine the scientific evidence that proves this cancer therapy works like nothing else on God's earth. You'll meet a woman who went from a terminal brain tumor diagnosis to 100% cancer-free in just 60 days using this therapy. And you can now get the full cancer-destroying solution with step-by-step instructions absolutely free. Details in just a moment. Let's get started now, while this presentation is still available.
The story really begins, strangely enough, with a polyp on the vocal cords of one of history's evilest men, Adolf Hitler. And after having surgery in 1935 to remove the polyp, Hitler became obsessed with finding a cure for cancer. You see, Hitler was terrified of the disease. His mother had died of breast cancer, and he was paranoid that cancer would take him too. He made finding a cure for cancer one of the goals of his Third Reich, his warped mind's vision of a perfect society. Now, Germany in the first half of the 20th century was a scientific juggernaut, far ahead of even the United States at that time. In fact, between 1902 and 1931, fully 1 out of 3 Nobel Prizes were awarded to German scientists. And when he took power, Hitler set up labs all over Germany and filled them with his country's best scientists, ordering them to discover the one cure for cancer. Now, so far, this story is well documented. Many World War II historians know all of this. But what isn't well known is this. One of Hitler's most brilliant scientists, Dr. Otto Warburg, actually did it. Dr. Warburg uncovered the truth behind why we get cancer, and he found the shockingly easy way to stop people from getting the disease. But even better, he discovered how to reverse cancer once it starts. Finally, could this be the 100% cure we've been praying for? Because this is the only medical therapy that has ever been found that explains why you might be growing cancer right now. Then also shows you how to rid your body of the disease. And I'm going to share it with you today, free. Let me reveal it now. Dr. Otto Warburg was one of the leading medical minds of the 20th century. Before the war, he was already a famous scientist, and his groundbreaking research on cells had earned him a Nobel Prize in 1931. In fact, he was nominated for an incredible 46 Nobel Prizes from 1923 to 1932. He held a PhD in chemistry, and he was also a trained medical doctor. But there was one more thing especially notable about Otto Warburg. He was Jewish, and that he wasn't jailed by the Nazis feared SS, but was instead told to continue his research speaks to his undeniable genius. In fact, authorities once tried to arrest him when he spoke out against the Nazi regime's crimes. But a direct letter came from Adolf Hitler himself, ordering them to allow Dr. Warburg to keep working. You see, even a lunatic like Hitler realized that Otto Warburg was onto something of unimaginable value: the true cause of all cancer. In the 1930s and 40s, Dr. Warburg's experiments on cellular respiration, the way our cells use oxygen for energy, revealed something astonishing. In order to survive, cancer cells function in a way completely unlike that of regular cells. They actually use a different cellular fuel than healthy cells normally use. And if you simply shut off this fuel supply, cancer cells die. But because regular cells don't have to use this fuel, they aren't affected at all. The cancer cells die almost immediately, and regular cells continue to stay healthy. It's remarkably simple, safe, and incredibly inexpensive. There's no doubt it's a godsend, the only true cancer cure I've ever found. You could have it right now, except even today, most doctors have never heard a single word about it. Why? Well, I'll reveal the criminal reason for that in a moment. But let me explain just a bit more about why Dr. Warburg's discovery can now help erase any fear of cancer for you or your family. And if you have faced cancer in the past, or God forbid, are fighting cancer right now, you must hear this while the information is still available. I'll give you everything you need to know in a moment, but don't worry about writing it all down, because every detail on how you can use this cancer miracle for yourself and your family is now available in a free book called The Secrets of Underground Medicine. And in addition to full details on the Warburg Cancer Miracle, this 510-page free book also contains full, proven underground disease therapies like how a revolutionary food solution can now reverse full-blown diabetes in as little as 8 days, page 415. How an all-natural arthritis wonder can actually regrow healthy, young, pain-free joints, page 295. How a simple nutrient your doctor doesn't know can save you from a deadly heart attack, build bones of steel, and even fight off prostate cancer. It's called Nutrient K, and there's an 80% chance you are deficient right now. Find out on page 54. Or how the incredible Methuselah diet has already extended animal lifespans by an additional 83%. Could it work to add 60 years to your life? Page 407. That's still just the start of what this life-saving gift has to offer. But before we go any further, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brad Lemley, and I've been a medical researcher for more than 35 years. I'm also a published author. I've written for Discover Magazine, Psychology Today, Reader's Digest, among others. And because of my years in the field, I've gained insider access to proven natural solutions to aging and disease, ones that even the best U.S. doctors simply don't know. That's why I formed a kind of medical think tank near Washington, D.C. Our mission is to reveal the true disease therapies that are denied or even covered up by our American healthcare system. We consult with the absolute top minds in modern medicine, doctors, scientists, and researchers like me. Recently, my team developed The Secrets of Underground Medicine as a free service for independent-minded Americans. This 510-page book is like a complete roadmap to perfect health in your 90s, 100s, and beyond. And today, it's free to a select group of Americans like you. However, it's available only today through this presentation, and quantities are very limited, so please watch the next few minutes for how to claim your copy. But first, let me prove how Dr. Warburg's discovery is the one cancer-reversing miracle you and your loved ones need now. It was just a few weeks ago I received a package in the mail containing a Nazi treasure almost lost to time: the private papers and published studies of Dr. Otto Warburg that reveal his life's work, a cure for cancer. Like you, I was completely skeptical. Who wouldn't be? After all, how could the most important medical breakthrough in human history have been lost during the collapse of Hitler's Third Reich? But there it was, clear as day in Dr. Warburg's own documents, his discovery that cancer cells have one very strange quirk. And if you know how to exploit that quirk, you can erase cancerous tumors like they never existed in the first place, restoring your perfect health. You see, in every cell in your body are structures called mitochondria. Mitochondria are like tiny engines in your cells. Essentially, they turn the oxygen you breathe and the food you eat into the energy that powers your cells. At least, that's how a healthy cell works. But through his experiments, Otto Warburg learned something groundbreaking. He found out that some mitochondria don't work the same way. In some of your cells, mitochondria, the little energy engines of your body, start to mess up. Essentially, they break. They quit working the right way. And then those broken mitochondria do something interesting. They stop using oxygen as their main fuel to create energy. Nope. Instead, they use glucose, a form of sugar, to create energy in a completely different way. But that's a bad thing. You see, creating energy only from glucose, nothing else, is not how your cells are supposed to work. And it causes all sorts of problems with the mitochondria in those cells. The messed up cells are basically starved for energy, and they begin to malfunction. In some cases, they start to divide over and over again, thousands of times, into a huge mass of mutated, broken cells. In other words, they form a tumor. Scientists call this mitochondrial dysfunction, and it directly leads to uncontrolled tumor growth. And Dr. Warburg's experiment showed that's how cancer, all cancer, starts. Now, there are many reasons why mitochondrial dysfunction can happen. It could be genetic, or it can be caused by secondary sources like smoking or exposure to toxins. But no matter the reason, once your mitochondria start burning only sugar, your cells are in clear and present danger of turning into cancerous tumors. What makes it even worse is this. Normally, your body's immune system would recognize damaged or broken cells, like cancer cells, and destroy them. That process is known as apoptosis, or what scientists call cellular suicide. In other words, your body actually tells damaged cells to self-destruct. The problem is, that important process requires your mitochondria, and because of the mitochondrial dysfunction I mentioned, it doesn't happen in cancer cells. So cancer cells continue to multiply, and tumors grow out of control. And you know the rest of the story. Scorching radiation, devastating chemotherapy, disfiguring surgery, and far too often, death. In fact, despite all the advances of modern medicine, we've made very little progress in improving cancer mortality rates. The reality is, cancer will likely kill more than 600,000 Americans this year. How many people do you know who lost their battle with this deadly disease? Far too many. We all do. And based on current trends, cancer will soon pass heart disease as the leading cause of death in America. In 22 states, it's already the #1 killer. And the truth is, modern medicine has no idea how to cure cancer. Once it starts, they're completely clueless. And so cancer patients face a horrible future of chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery before they die. But now it won't be that way for you or your family, because in Dr. Warburg's documents is something else, something of unbelievable value, a way to actually stop cancer cells in their tracks. He found a simple method that cuts off the fuel supply to cancer cells, so the malignant cells die, tumors dry up and shrink. And pretty soon a shocked oncologist will be saying, "I just don't believe it. Your cancer has disappeared." But maybe you're asking, how do I know for sure it really works? That's a great question. After all, scientific methods in the 1940s were somewhat primitive compared to today's technologies. Thankfully, top scientists have recently tested Dr. Warburg's method with amazing results. First, the Warburg method was verified by a brilliant Johns Hopkins researcher named Pete Peterson. Peterson used advanced microscopic imaging, a technology Otto Warburg could only have dreamed of, to prove that cancer cells have far fewer properly functioning mitochondria than regular cells. Modern science now confirms it. Warburg was correct about mitochondrial errors being directly linked to cancer. But there's more. Another Johns Hopkins scientist actually tested the Warburg method against cancer. She gave 19 cancerous rats a special, non-toxic treatment that shuts off the sugar supply to cancer cells. And wouldn't you know it, all of the rats were cured and went on to have normal lifespans. That's an incredible result. Complete remission of their cancer. But maybe you're thinking, I'm not a lab rat. Of course not. So does the Warburg method work just as well on people too? Early results are pointing to yes. Consider the case of Beverly R. from Toledo, Ohio. Sadly, at 65 years old, Beverly was diagnosed with glioblastoma, an especially deadly type of brain cancer. In fact, the standard therapy of chemo and radiation is almost worthless for this type of aggressive brain tumor. It's considered incurable, and the average life expectancy is less than 18 months. Things looked bleak for Beverly. She did start the standard therapy, but then she did something else as well. Beverly used the Warburg method. After just 60 days of treatment, Beverly's doctors did a scan of her brain and found something astonishing. Beverly's incurable brain tumor had vanished. Her aggressive cancer had completely disappeared without a trace. It was like a miracle. There's just no question in my mind. The Warburg method is the life-saving cancer treatment we've been seeking. And thanks to your free 510-page book, The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you will now get Dr. Warburg's exact method for shutting off the fuel that cancer cells desperately need. The Warburg method is that powerful. I believe it's the only true cancer cure ever found. And today it's yours at no cost to you. I'll explain everything in just a moment. Now, it's important to realize your doctor does not know the Warburg method for beating cancer and shrinking tumors. I'm afraid you won't hear about it from him. The only way you'll get full details on this astonishing covered-up cancer therapy is in your free Secrets of Underground Medicine 510-page book. It's not your doctor's fault. He means well, no question about it. But he's simply not taught about Dr. Otto Warburg and his astonishing cancer discovery. That's just not the way our medical system works. And because, as you'll learn in your free book, the Warburg method does not require any pharmaceutical drugs. Did you know the cost of chemotherapy for cancer can run as high as $65,000 per month? That's insane. And that's exactly why the pharmaceutical industry has a very clear interest in denying a true cancer therapy that requires no chemotherapy drugs at all. They're not alone. You see, the trillion-dollar big pharma industry has a very willing partner in crime, our own United States government. You see, in our government's Food and Drug Administration, Big Pharma has a devoted little lapdog who follows commands at will, because Big Pharma owns the FDA. It's true. In 1992, Congress quietly slipped through a law called the Prescription Drug User Fee Act. And no one paid a whole lot of attention, but they should have, because with that law, Congress sold out the American people by giving away a piece of our government to be controlled by a group of shady corporate bigwigs. It's absolutely criminal. Thanks to that law, Big Pharma now pays the salaries of FDA employees, including the huge bonuses given to FDA executives. And don't forget, the FDA is supposed to be a watchdog that oversees Big Pharma, making sure they don't do anything that would harm Americans. Well, considering prescription drugs cause 128,000 American deaths a year, I'd say they're not doing a great job of keeping us safe. Think about it. 128,000 dead every year from prescription drugs. That's an American citizen every 4 minutes. It's a crime. But the only ones who are punished are Americans like me and you. Thanks to the Big Pharma FDA partnership, our doctors are taught only one way to practice medicine: prescribe, prescribe, prescribe. It doesn't have to be that way, because there are now very real natural solutions and even cures for the deadliest diseases we face. The Warburg method for reversing cancer is one such miracle. It's incredibly powerful, but so simple to use if you know what to do. And every detail you need, how it works and how you can get it, starts on page 2 of your free book, The Secrets of Underground Medicine. But that's just the beginning of what you'll find in this encyclopedia of cures. In your 510-page The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you'll get more than 25 powerful treatments covering almost every disease of aging. Please realize, you will be one of the very few who has these life-changing secrets. As I explained earlier, your doctor simply does not know these disease cures and treatments. Your neighbors don't know them. Your children, family, and friends don't know them either. But feel free to share your new knowledge with your most trusted loved ones. Make no mistake, you will be the only one who has these new weapons against disease and aging at your disposal. Friend, that's a very powerful position to be in. And the only way to get them today is through your free copy of The Secrets of Underground Medicine. Like on page 415, where it explains how type 2 diabetes can now be completely reversed by a simple eating trick in as little as 8 days. Now, the worldwide diabetes industry is predicted to reach $55 billion this year. So you can understand why Big Pharma is praying you don't find out there's now a cure. You don't need drugs, you don't need insulin, you don't need to worry about blindness, amputation, or worse. And you could stop depriving yourself of delicious food right now, but only if you know the solution on page 415 of your free copy of The Secrets of Underground Medicine. And it's as simple as a special way of eating that actually tricks your body into reversing your diabetes, with one doctor reporting incredible results in as little as 8 days. And I'm not talking about a starvation diet or anything unpleasant like that. Not at all. Actually, you can enjoy absolutely rich, delicious foods and still reverse your type 2 diabetes. It's so simple, and yet our corporate mainstream medical system doesn't know a thing about it. So you won't hear about it from your doctor, I'm afraid. But leading scientists who aren't controlled by the FDA or Big Pharma have finally taken notice. In fact, in one 16-week study, 21 overweight patients with type 2 diabetes tried this new way of eating. At the end of the study, 17 of the 21 participants had significantly reduced their diabetes medication. That's 81% of diabetics able to get off much of their medication, and 7 of them were able to stop taking medication completely. Not only that, everyone in the study lost an average of 19 pounds. Again, the special eating trick requires no calorie restriction. You eat decadent foods with no limitations on how much. Let me repeat that. You can eat as much as you want, and your body simply reverses your diabetes naturally and easy. One leading doctor, Eric Westman, MD, has now started using the eating trick for his own diabetic patients with astonishing results. He reports that he's able to reduce insulin as much as 150 units per day for diabetics using this technique in just 8 days. What's more, it's so incredibly effective, he reduces his patients' insulin by 50% on the very first day. In Dr. Westman's own words, as the weeks pass, most patients achieve normal glycemia, normal blood sugar, without medication. Obese patients lose weight, and patients save money because they're not paying for medications. It's an astonishing cure, but still almost completely unknown in America. In fact, if you go to the American Diabetes Association's website, you won't find anything on the solution that actually reverses diabetes. But how can this be? Surely the ADA is the authority on diabetes in this country. Well, if you check the sponsors section of their own website, the reason suddenly becomes crystal clear. AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly, GlaxoSmithKline, Janssen Pharmaceuticals, Johnson & Johnson Diabetes Solutions, Merck, Novo Nordisk, Pfizer. It's a who's who of pharmaceutical giants that make billions prescribing drugs for diabetes. What if all their diabetic customers found out there was an actual cure for type 2 diabetes that doesn't require any medical intervention or drugs? Well, Big Pharma would lose all that drug money. And it's easy to see why the ADA isn't going to bite the hand that feeds it. Once again, just follow the money. The corporations win, and hardworking Americans like you and me lose. But finally, you can do better. Thanks to your free copy of The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you can now access the proven cures our mainstream medical system denies or even covers up. You see, they'll stop at nothing to keep these natural, inexpensive, and incredibly powerful health solutions out of your hands. In 1994, the FDA even pushed through a law that says you, a tax-paying American, cannot legally be told about a natural product that cures cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, or anything else by anyone making that product. The disgraceful law is on the books as Public Law 103-417, and it exists to this day. This conspiracy truly runs deep. No more. They can keep their drugs and drug money, because you won't need them. With The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you will finally have a true roadmap to perfect health, and you can finally rest easy knowing that while others grow old and feeble and fall to disease, this won't be your story. Not anymore. Not when you know the life-saving secrets in your free book. No matter your age, no matter your current health, you will now have the proven solutions you simply can't find anywhere else. Like how an almost completely unknown nutrient is like an age-reversing miracle. It stops the deadly hardening of the arteries that causes massive heart attacks. It makes your bones steel girder strong, preventing hip, spinal, and bone fractures. It slashes your risk of prostate cancer by 35%, and it even reduces your risk of dying. But here's the kicker. An estimated 80% of Americans are dangerously deficient. Are you? And how has the mainstream missed this one? I call it Nutrient K, and it's a hidden health crisis that no one is talking about. You see, your great-grandfather probably got plenty of Nutrient K. That's because our bodies get Nutrient K from our food. And back then, cows grazed on lush green grass, and lots of Nutrient K showed up in their meat, milk, and butter. But no more. The cattle feed that's given to today's cows means they don't create Nutrient K, so we're not getting much from our food. It's now estimated that 4 out of 5 Americans are dangerously low on Nutrient K. That's almost all of us. It's an urgent epidemic that has been completely overlooked by the mainstream authorities. But that's not surprising, is it? After all, why tell you about a cheap, natural nutrient that costs just pennies when they can sell you expensive drugs for heart disease, osteoporosis, prostate cancer, and all the other health conditions caused by Nutrient K deficiency? Who cares how expensive, unnecessary, and dangerous those drugs may be? Once again, just follow the money. Big Pharma wins, we lose. No more. That's why on page 54 of The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you're going to get every detail on how to find out if you're deficient in Nutrient K. Most of us are. How to find the best source of K. We recommend our favorite supplier. Exactly how much you need to take to be healthy. And how it protects your heart, bones, prostate, and so much more. Friend, when you replace the K your body is craving, you'll be amazed at how great you start to feel. It makes you wonder, was it getting older that slowed you down, or was it missing this vital nutrient that we all need to stay healthy and active, and that your doctor has never mentioned? In your free 510-page book, The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you'll discover more astonishing health secrets that simply don't exist anywhere else. Like an all-natural arthritis miracle that can actually regrow new, healthy joints. If you've been told that your arthritis is incurable, that you'll just have to live with those excruciating daggers in your hands, shoulders, hips, or knees, take heart. It's not going to be that way for you. Not when you learn about the astonishing joint breakthrough on page 295 of your new Encyclopedia of Cures. Doctors tell us that swollen, painful joints are just an unavoidable part of aging, and that the best way to manage your pain is with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, also known as NSAIDs, even though those drugs are notorious for their side effects, including stomach bleeding and liver damage. But it gets worse. Some studies are now showing that NSAIDs may actually cause more destruction to your joints, making your pain worse. And when you're in pain, it's hard to find much pleasure in life. But that's not your only worry. Today it's trouble buttoning your clothes or turning the key in that sticky lock. But what about tomorrow or next year? How bad will your joints be then? Will you have trouble dressing, bathing, or driving a car? Could your swollen, painful joints lead to a fall, a nursing home, your complete loss of independence? No, not for you. Not now. Because you're about to learn about a true miracle called CLG9 that actually regrows the healthy cartilage that cushions your joints. You'll move, bend, lift easily and without pain. Get ready to dust off those golf clubs or your old fishing rod, or dig out those gardening tools. Heck, maybe it's time to start dancing again. It's all thanks to CLG9, a natural protein that actually makes up about 60% of your joint tissue. When we were young, this protein grows new cartilage and repairs any cartilage that gets damaged. But unfortunately, as we get older, our bodies stop making enough CLG9. So your cartilage, the vital cushioning in your joints, starts to fall apart and causes arthritis. Your joints get stiff, swollen, and with every movement comes that sharp, take your breath away pain. But I have great news today. You see, scientists have now learned there's an easy way to replace the CLG9 in your joints. And when you do, it actually regrows new cartilage. It's like replacing your arthritis with a new healthy joint. Look at this x-ray of a knee. You see the part that's circled? That, my friend, is severe bone-on-bone arthritis. The cartilage is completely worn away in the joint. I think you can imagine how painful it must be to walk on that knee. Now, take a look at this second x-ray image. This is the same knee after just 13 weeks of taking CLG9. Look again at the circled part. Look at the clear space between the bones. That is healthy, new cartilage in there. The joint is now cushioned and comfortable, like a brand new knee. Look one more time. Here is the before CLG9 photo. You're looking at severe knee arthritis. Here's the after CLG9 photo again. A new cushioned joint. These photos are from a landmark study where 30 people with arthritis got CLG9 or a placebo for just 13 weeks. The placebo group experienced zero improvement in the joints, as you'd expect. But in the CLG9 group, every 2 out of 3 people reported excellent improvement in their joints. If you or a loved one has arthritis or joint pain, you must know how to find the blessed relief of CLG9. It's like a joint replacement, but without any scalpels, needles, or pain. All you have to do is take a little of this all-natural powder with water, and CLG9 goes to work rebuilding and rejuvenating your joints. Then one day you'll wake up, pop out of bed, and practically skip down the stairs until you stop and think to yourself, I don't just feel better, I feel amazing. That's the CLG9 difference. And on page 295 of The Secrets of Underground Medicine, you'll find everything you need to get started. How CLG9 works to regrow the cartilage in your joints, safely and easily. Where to get CLG9, and our #1 recommended source. How much to take for brand new joints results, and how to avoid imitations that don't work nearly as well. And that's still just the beginning of what you'll find in your new free copy of The Secrets of Underground Medicine. This 510-page book is like a complete encyclopedia of disease prevention and unknown cures. It's designed as a step-by-step roadmap to achieving your perfect health, no matter your current health concerns. With your copy of The Secrets of Underground Medicine in hand, you'll be prepared for anything life has in store. Today, tomorrow, or 20 years from now. Let's do this. When you get your own copy in the mail, in its discreet packaging, open it immediately. Feel the weight of the full 510 pages of proven disease and health secrets. Admire the high-quality binding and attractive design. You'll see your book is written in easy-to-follow, plain language. It's clearly organized by disease or health condition, so you can quickly flip to the section you need most. Keep it on the shelf next to your family Bible and refer to it often. And feel free to share its most valuable treasures with your trusted friends and family. With your new book, you hold the secrets to a life of health and happiness even your own doctor can't offer. That's a remarkable power to have. And today, it's all yours, at no cost at all, not a single red penny. I've already told you how The Secrets of Underground Medicine rips back the curtain on the mainstream's lies, revealing the astonishing Warburg method, covered up by our own government for 70 years, the only known true cure for cancer, and the incredible food trick that can now reverse type 2 diabetes in as little as 8 days, and the arthritis miracle that is like an all-natural joint replacement for pain-free hands, knees, hips, and shoulders. And how to find out if nutrient K deficiency has you risking a deadly heart attack or even prostate cancer. There's an 80% chance you need more now. But that's just the start. In its full 510 pages, you'll also find the bizarre health ritual that allowed Luigi Cornaro, a 15th century nobleman from Venice, to live to an astonishing 102 years of age. That's about 3 times longer than the average life expectancy at that time. It's not a pill, and it costs nothing. And now you can access this astonishing fountain of youth ritual too. Everything you need to know is on page 286. They're getting it all wrong. Eating these 5 fruits and vegetables might be sabotaging your weight loss efforts. To drop fat fast, eat this instead. Page 237. Slash your risk of dementia 42% by eating one delicious, rich food. You won't believe it, but the shocking proof is right there on page 305. The incredible Methuselah diet that has already extended animal lifespans by 83%. That would be like living to 140 years old. Now, could it work to extend your own life? Everything you need to know is on page 407. Want to be happier with your life? Then you must discover the one thing that matters most for true happiness. Hint, it's not money. It's on page 113. Do you struggle to fall asleep at night? Then you must find out this Tibetan shaman's secret to slipping gently into deep, restful slumber. It's on page 118. You probably know there's hardly a disease not linked to chronic inflammation, from heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, and even cancer. But did you know there are 3 things hiding in your pantry right now that can dramatically soothe pain and inflammation throughout your body? When it comes to dousing painful, dangerous inflammation, they're like turning a garden hose on a campfire, and they're so easy to use. We reveal all 3 kitchen inflammation fighters on page 42. Then prepare to be outraged when we expose the big cholesterol scam that's been killing Americans for more than 50 years. That not only is cholesterol not dangerous, it's actually vital for your good health. It's one of the most important nutrients in your entire body, but they tell you you need less cholesterol. Then why are lower levels of cholesterol directly linked to developing heart disease, cancer, and dementia? Don't be a victim of this outrageous scam. On page 80, you'll get the shocking facts that even your doctor doesn't know.